Sid, tell us a bit about you. Where did it start, and your journey to BC4, which is a really interesting organisation, and some of the work you're doing is fantastic. Just tell us a bit more about yourself.
Do I start right at the beginning?
Yeah, right. Go. Where did you study? What was school?
Yeah, so I did a maths and computer science degree at King's College London, and then decided traditionally, do I go into finance, do I go into IT, and decided down the IT route. Started in hospitality industry, supporting hospitality systems, and then really got into sport and football through implementation of retail systems right back in sort of 2004, early 2000s, working with the likes of Tottenham Hotspur, Arsenal, Man City, and being a Spurs fan, that was kind of a moment I'll never forget. The first day I turned up at White Hart Lane, I was like a kid in the sweet shop, and just my luck, Jermaine Defoe and Ledley King walk over, and I was like, I thought I'd won the lottery. So yeah, started then, and then worked for Oracle for a number of years, various different roles, IT director. But I was then asked to go to Spurs as a consultant to help them in terms of the new stadium development project, which was just, the best experience to not just from being a passionate Spurs fan, but actually to be involved in the stadium from the ground up when there was literally nothing there. And learnt so much about kind of the inner workings of the club, not just what you see on the outside as a fan. People say don't get too close to something you love. That phrase is slightly true, but I wouldn't have changed the experience for the world.
Just on the Spurs, I went to hospitality late last season, so I've kind of been through the Spurs experience. And when I compare that against my club, Manchester United, worlds apart in terms of the experience from the second I arrive as a fan at the stadium, the way I can get to my seat, it's just that whole process was seamless with the way that Spurs had it all organised. So
yeah, and there was a lot of thought that went into that. Every minute detail was thought about. Obviously, it was about also how do you maximise the revenue from that major investment, and it's obviously. For the community, it's phenomenal what it's done in terms of regenerating it. But the whole vision that Daniel had about NFL and concerts and every detail, acoustics, sound, lighting, it's the best experience that they could offer close to the pitch. So when you're watching the games, you feel sort of immersed in it. And the advantage was that a lot of the stadiums that I've worked with subsequently, the likes of Real Madrid, amazing venues, but the foundations are the foundations, and therefore to try and change the structure of something like that is very difficult.
And your point about the detail is really important, and we'll dive into some more of that in a second. I just wanted to, and as a complete contrast, I've just been this morning trying to buy tickets to the India-England one-day international at Edgbaston. So I've got a priority membership, got a lovely alert. You can jump on, buy tickets this morning. Get a 15-minute window while you're on this website. And I selected tickets. And for some reason, I don't know what had happened, I selected 6 and I thought, I'll change my mind and sit somewhere else. But it kept those tickets in my basket. And you can only buy 10. But I was trying to buy another 6 and it wouldn't let me do it. And I can see the timer ticking at the bottom, but there's nothing obvious telling me that I've already got 6 tickets in my basket other than the price at the bottom. And when you're in that 15 minutes of stress, you're not dividing that and going, hang on, that doesn't make sense. So I've managed to get them, thankfully.
Did you get more than 10 or?
I managed to get 6, so that was good. Yeah, so I got 6. So
I'd love to have 1, by the way. But
we'll do a deal. We'll do a deal at the end. So it just complete experience. But just your journey then. So you were football stadium, Spurs fan, talking about all this. But in terms of the business BC4, where did that come from? Was that?
So it kind of, we start as in, we've had a major rebrand recently. And so the company was previously called KPSD, it's now BC4. And we really target 2 specific verticals, or 3, BC for sports, BC for events, and BC for retail. And saw an opportunity within the market that actually a lot of the products that people are using in this space are legacy kind of systems, archaic infrastructure, security risks, very siloed best of breed approach where you try and integrate multiple systems together, don't have a homogenized data set. And coming from an ERP technology background, I saw the potential in Microsoft Business Central. It's an ERP system, but it's an ERP system that touches all the endpoints. And we have the specialty in sports, which then made it, and retail, which makes us kind of a good partner, a good fit to understand how the business works, to maximize the investment in that technology set. And Microsoft, I mean, they invest, I've heard numbers, I don't know the exact number, but
there'll be big numbers.
But it's billions.
Yeah,
I mean, it is billions in their platform, and that's everything from infrastructure, security, product development, roadmap. So the product's not going to stand still. It will continually be evolving. And as we'll talk about later, you know, there's a whole push on data, on AI, and how you can actually, you know, optimize that system for maximum efficiency, and not only your own users and their satisfaction, but ultimately to deliver that to their end clients, whoever that may be. So yeah, BC sort of, the rebrand was this year, but we've been going since around 2018. Really grew from 2018 onwards, more in the retail space, and then started in the sports space. And we're a unique partner. There's lots of Business Central partners. And that's one of the advantages of having a platform such as that, where, you know, it's often, it's known in the industry that sometimes you may have a proprietary system and you fall out with that person, and then all of a sudden you're stuck with a system that nobody can actually maintain. So with the community that we're in, yes, we're a partner. We obviously want to retain all of our clients and acquire new ones. But you're not limited by, you know, the platform is going to be there forever. And therefore our customers have freedom of choice. And that means that investment is protected. So we specialize in retail, we specialize in sports, and we've done some really large events. Privileged, humbled actually to have done the Olympics, did the Ryder Cup in Italy, did the Rugby World Cup in France, worked with like Real Madrid, Villa, and a number of other clubs. And obviously then we have the retail side of the business. But I know this is about sport, so I'll keep focused on that.
Well, no, I mean, I think you were going to say, like your journey has been data-centric in as much as you've been involved with data and systems for a while. And before we dive into the kind of the exciting bit about talking about the specific partners you work with, just a bit about what's that journey and change been like? Because working with data is not new. Companies have wanted to do it. If you think about what Tesco's have been doing with Dunnhumby, I think that's the right partner.
That's right.
And their club card, and they were held up as a real stalwart of collecting customer data, using customer data, etc. And their recent results would lead you to draw the conclusion that that's been really fruitful for them in driving revenue. But over the sort of the decade, what's that change been like, both from attitudinally, but also what technologies enable differently now?
So I think fundamentally the technology has to support the experience.